Guys, this is RIA Rhythms in Action. I'm here with the beautiful Lucia, aka Lucidream, all the way from Germany and now living here in the Byron Shire. So super excited to talk to you guys today because on Friday night we're having a gig. We're doing an ecstatic dance together, co-creating. And really just wanted to introduce Lucia to the conscious dance community that are associated with me and the events that I do. And introduce you to Lucia and her story, and so we're going to dive in to all things music. So first of all, it's so good to have you in the Byron Shire. When I first heard Lucia play, it was at a house party, and I was like, oh, this girl really knows how to DJ. You know, it's like not just a rookie, you know, like someone who really understands music and flow and rhythm and building a set. And we were like chatting all night, and so I'm so excited that we get to co-create this Friday. So first of all, how did you get into music originally?
All right, first of all, thank you so much for having me, and like I'm so happy that we met and that it's all flowing together and coming together and doing the ecstatic dance journey I'm very excited about. And so how I got into music. I always been very passionate about music. I played instrument my whole life, really. It was like when I came to Australia, when I properly had the courage, I could say, to really dive into my passions, because a lot of time in Germany was more like it's not that much of an option to be an artist and to really be a musician, because people are afraid of doing it actually. So then here in Australia I noticed a lot of people are actually doing it, and it's like I can do it and I love it. So I started going to a lot of festivals in Australia, and that's when I first realized how much I love dancing and how much it heals me and helps me to heal. And I've always been collecting music on playlists and just playing it with friends, and then I was like, maybe I should just try to DJ, and I got my first decks. I remember it was actually when I was up here.
What did you start on? What was your first purchase as far as decks were concerned?
Actually, I can't remember the brand, but it was like the old kind of decks that my brother gave me. It was like something that
DJ hand-me-down.
Yeah, it was like. And I remember my first gig, I brought them and I wanted to connect them, but it didn't work because some of the outputs didn't work. So then on my first gig I had to play on different decks, and I was like, oh my god, I don't even know how this works, but it went all really well, and it was really nice. And so then I kept on traveling, and during my travels I just got more into it, kind of shared my music with people and see how they respond, and it's like, this is fucking amazing, I want to do more of it. And then I was like, okay, actually I want to also produce, you know. From the beginning I was like, that's where I'm going to, because it's a big part of my journey, I feel. And because I've always been playing instruments, it's easy for me to create that journey in a track, or to create a track. And so I just spent some time diving into Ableton, which is a big thing.
How did you learn Ableton? Are you self-taught or?
I started watching YouTube videos. Like there's heaps out there, and like getting the basics. And as soon as I kind of saw a new skill, I was like, I'll try it out in a new track or something like that. And a lot of things, I started to kind of find out myself. But then when I was in Melbourne, I also had a few classes, I think like 2 or 3 classes with a teacher there.
Amazing. So like I've heard Lucia's music, and it's really phenomenal actually, because this has been quite a quick journey, right? So you've been DJing 3 years, and you've already released your first EP on a Belgium label. And when I heard this music, I was like, wow, there's so much going on in this music. Like there's a lot of melody, there's a lot of instrumentation. So you're classically trained pianist, are you? Yeah, beautiful. So tell me about your journey with the synthesizer and production.
So like that's because I've been playing piano and I love the keys. That's like my comfort zone. I mean, I play a little bit guitar as well and flute, but like the keys are definitely where I can express myself the best, I'd say. And then diving into synthesizers, I was like, oh my god, I can literally make any sound with the keys, and I can change the sound and make mad bass lines, and it's all on the same instrument, and it's like you can record it and play it in and like change it up and layer, and layering is another thing, and then all the effects, which is like, it's a journey just to explore one sound, and yeah, it's definitely, and it's like never ending.
So speaking of sound, what kind of, if you could describe the sound that you play, so there's the sound that you produce and there's the sound that you actually play if you're DJing.
Yeah.
So like for an ecstatic dance journey, what can people expect to hear from you?
I guess I'd probably play a mix of like tribal beats, but then also like space sounds. So last weekend actually, one of the people told me after the set that he went through a journey, and he was like, it was in the ocean at one moment, and he was in the jungle, and he was out of space, and like then it was like driving in his car, and it's like, this is a whole journey. It's like, yes, that's what I would love to create too, because it's like triggering different emotions, and that's why. So when I play a set, I like to really go through different emotions, go into happy emotions, go into like deep emotions, dramatic. I love dramatic like music as well, and darker emotions too, and just move through it in a way where you really guide the people to an emotion where you usually wouldn't allow yourself to go naturally. Like if I would show someone a track, for example, in the wrong moment, they'd say, I don't like this is not my vibe.
Yeah.
But then if you guide them there, they actually can allow themselves to then tap into it and really feel it, and then often it happens that it triggers a part of themselves that they usually don't, it's like a shadow aspect of themselves, and that's why with ecstatic dance, if you guide someone to get there, experience it, and then also guide them back up again, that's like the whole transformational journey. And so yeah, that's kind of,
well, that's the beauty about creating an ecstatic dance journey, right?
Yeah.
Because people are coming into a conscious container, and there is a beginning, a middle, and an end. And on Friday night we have 3 hours to nourish you and to support you through a journey, a musical journey, and with the support of Maestro Cacao. But yeah, it's amazing because these kind of events, people aren't drinking alcohol, they come in ready to go on a journey, you know. So yeah, I mean, what can you say about the ecstatic dance culture?
I personally, like how I experienced it the first time, I remember when I went in ecstatic dance, I was like, afterwards I laid there on the shavasana on the floor, and I think I've never felt that fulfilled. I was just like so liberated. I was just like, this is the best thing ever. It's like I had a good workout, I had a good dance. I felt totally like, sober, but so high naturally, and just so released. Like my mind was completely clear. And then I kept going to different events and different ecstatic dance journeys, and it's different every time because it depends on who's doing it and who's playing it. But yeah, in general, the intention of ecstatic dance, I feel like it's so powerful, because when you experience the different vibrations, I'd say, through the music, and then at the same time you can express it through the dance. So it creates this flow of like receiving the vibrations, and that creates like something within your body. It triggers emotions, things coming up, and then you don't hold on to it, you express it through the dance. And that's the purest form of like healing, or one of the most powerful forms of healing that I've experienced for myself and I've seen on other people.
And especially if everybody is in agreement that they're all there for the same reason, to show up exactly as they are, with no judgment of themselves or others, and just to dance with what is, and allowing that you know, those emotions or whatever's like bubbling in the body mind to actually just be released through movement and through music. And so it's super magical. I mean, I used to DJ a lot of club gigs, and you know, it was through varying, you know, I've gone through so many different degrees of professionalism and different genres in my DJ life. But the ecstatic dance is a real turn on for me because it's like, you know, we really, we get to take people on a journey and you know, and it's healing, you know, because this time in the planet, we definitely need these spaces to just go in and process, you know. There's so much going on, so it's just like, okay, come into the dance temple and process your life, you know, and just like just sit it. And sometimes it's like, it's not cerebral, it's like, you know, we have this amazing intelligence that our body actually, you know, can you know, it's divine, you know, and it's like the more we drop out of our head and into our flow, the body just works through it in miraculous ways.
It happens all naturally. It's more about surrendering and actually letting go. It's really a meditation.
So tell us about the theme, Awaken the Dreamer.
Okay, so Awaken the Dreamer, this theme came up recently when with my name, Lucidream, it kind of came to me at beginning of this year, and I was like, it's definitely that's it, you know, like that's the name. But I started to really understand it better just recently, or like a few months ago, when it came more and more things came to me. And the whole thing about lucid dream is because when you're in a lucid dream, for example, when you in a dream, so then you start realizing you're dreaming. That's what's called lucid dream, because then you can start to create your dream and do whatever you want in your dream, because you know you're dreaming, and there's literally anything is possible. So that's in real life, it's the same thing. We're in a dream, and when we start to awaken, and that's what's like happening on the planet right now. People start to awaken, or we try to help them to awaken. Then we can start to create our dream and wake up to our dream, basically, and really tap into the potential of the creator that we are. And I feel like that's a big part of why we're here, is because we're here to create. We are the big creators. We can create anything with just thoughts, words, and actions. It goes very deep, and it's not necessarily that easy straight away, because you have to kind of, also in a lucid dream, you have to learn how to do it, you know. Sometimes when you start lucid dreaming, you wake yourself up and you're like, oh, I got too excited, now I'm like awake. But it's like when you train yourself to do that, and a big part of it, I also feel like, is releasing a lot of blocked emotions and stuff, and a lot of also ancestral drama and like just conditioning and things. The more we release these things, the more we can tap into our innate like creative power and start to really awaken to our dream and create our dream.
Dream it real.
Dream it real.
Okay, so on Friday night, this Friday, 4th of December, you can come and dance with us. So a 3-hour ecstatic dance activation featuring me on the warm-up and Lucid Dream on the dance journey. We'll be holding a cacao ritual to drop you into the space and into your body and into the moment. And yeah, we'd love to see you guys there. It's going to be at We Move Studio at Mullumbimby. Beautiful little cocoon womb space with hempcrete walls and sprung-loaded dance floor, and it's just a beautiful space. So yeah, you can grab tickets at Rhythms in Action on Facebook, or you can search Awaken the Dreamer Ecstatic Dance Activation on Facebook. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I hope to see you there. Thank you for listening.
And click the links below for links to check out Lucia.
Much love.
Much love. Peace.